into yin class, we are going to be working with the element of earth and characteristics such as grounding and stability. You may need a block during the yin portion of our class today. And we'll get started. Starting today in your Shavasana, you can just put your block up to the top of your mat. You're going to come all the way down to the ground. Bringing your palms face up as you close your eyes. And working within the element of the earth today. Just noticing how the earth feels beneath your body. What is the texture of your mat? Do you feel warm or cool beneath your skin? And taking some time to visualize your favorite environment of the earth. So when you think of being outdoors, where is it that you feel most connected? Do you picture the mountains? Do you picture the ocean? The beach? Do you picture a lush forest? I'm just taking time to visualize that in your mind. On your next inhale, we'll start to bend in the knees and come into our bridge pose. So bring the palms face down as we root the soles of the feet down into the earth. And then gently rolling the shoulders underneath the back. Pushing into the earth with your feet, you're going to start to lift the hips and lift the heart center. Engaging the tops of the thighs, rolling them in towards each other. Toes are pointed forward. And on your inhale, we'll start to lift the right leg up and off of the ground and lifting it at an angle so it's in line with your left thigh. So we're not trying to bring it up to the sky, but at an angle. And then starting to take your outer edge of your foot and place it on top of your left thigh. As you exhale, start to lower the hips back down towards the ground. Coming into our reclined pigeon here. You can stay right here, or you can start to lift the left foot off of the ground, interlacing the fingers behind the leg. Inhaling left knee in towards you and exhaling right knee out and away from you. Exhale, unwind, release the feet back down to the earth, and we'll come back into our bridge pose. When you're ready, lifting the hips, lifting heart center, gently rolling the shoulders underneath the back. Slight tuck of the chin. And then engaging through the muscles of the legs and the feet, we'll start to lift the left leg up and at the ankle again. also engage through your core center. And then the outer edge of your left foot's going to come on top of the right thigh as we gently release back down. Moving into our supine pigeon on the other side, staying here or lifting the right leg up as we interlace the fingers behind the right leg. Finding grounding energy within your breath, rooting you in this moment, in this space. Exhaling, unwinding. And this time we'll bring both feet into the chest and then start to gently rock your way up into your tabletop position. And once you're in your tabletop, we'll move through 3 rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze, and exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, and exhale. One more time. Inhale, heart shines forward, and exhale, gaze is towards the navel center. And moving into your neutral spine, you can tuck the left toes under here, or you can lay the top of the foot flat onto the mat as we extend our right leg long and back behind us, really pulling through the heel. Now notice if you're dipping a lot in your lower back, draw your navel center in, and then left hand reaches forward. Finding stability through our push-pull action of the body, pulling the left hand forward and reaching the right heel back. And then placing the left hand onto the ground, we're going to start to roll the right hip up to the sky and start to place some more weight into that left hand as we reach our right arm up to the sky. So trying to keep that right heel in line with your hip as you feel as though you're shooting a bolt of energy through that right heel. Good. And then releasing the right hand back down, we're going to bring that right foot in between both hands. Coming into our low lunge. Start to tuck the left toes under, lift the back knee, and make your way up into high lunge. And you can stay with your hands at heart center, or bring your right hand up and your left hand back as you reach the crown of your head forward. Good. And then from here, we'll start to make our way over to the left side of the mat and move into a forward fold. So you can widen your stance as much as you'd like. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, fold here. And you can bring your hands in whatever position allows you to feel the most grounded. So you can bring your hands back behind you, or maybe in line with the elbows, or even out in front of you. Find your variation, and then root yourself within this pose, within your breath. And coming back up, nice and slowly. Pointing the right toes forward, back into your high lunge. Arms come up to frame the ears this time. And then left foot is going to come forward to meet the right as we sit down into our chair pose. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll move into tree pose from here. So in your tree pose, You're going to start to root and ground through the right foot, bend in the left knee, and open up the hip, placing your foot wherever you would like on your opposite leg, as long as you're not putting any weight onto the kneecap. And you can stay right here, or you can start to come into a slight bended tree. So you can take your left hand and place it either onto the inside of your ankle, if you can reach, or just onto the inside of the thigh as you reach your right hand up and over to the side. Rooting into this tree pose. Let's talk about the element of earth. Doing a tree pose sounds very expected, but it's also a very good pose to practice, finding stability and stableness and bringing our focus into the present, which allows us to find those roots within our feet and our legs, as well as our mind. Good, and bringing your hands back to heart center. We'll start to release our foot down to the earth and then move into a hand to big toe pose. So your feet are going to be a little wider than hips width distance apart. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and as you exhale, we're going to hinge from the hips and fold. First, 2 fingers and thumb wrap around your big toes. Lengthening into your half back as you inhale, and folding on your exhale, bringing the elbows out to the sides like elephant ears. Releasing the back of the neck. You can gently shake your head from side to side here if you'd like. Breathing into the back of the legs. And releasing your yogi toe grip. We're going to bring our feet even wider apart as they reach the edges of the mat. Toes point forward. Bending in the knees, and then bringing the arms up to frame the ears. So this is called bear pose. It's different than our chair pose, because in chair we want to bring our heart forward and our hips back, but here our heart is in the same line as our hips. Good, and as you exhale, release the hands down, and we're going to step back into our downward facing dog, our first down dog of the practice. So you can pedal the feet, move the hips, finding little adjustments within the body here. And then coming back down onto the knees, and move over to the other side. So you can tuck your right toes under or lay them flat as we lengthen the left leg back behind us, keeping the left hip bone rolled down for now. And you can stay right here, engaging through the belly, or you can start to bring your right hand forward. And on your exhale, you can start to release that right hand down. Roll the left hip open as we bring the left hand up to the sky. Taking another breath here. And on your exhale, releasing the left hand down. Left foot is going to come in between the hands, and then tucking the right toes under, lift the back knee and come back up into your high lunge. And your hands can stay at heart center, or we'll start to bring our right hand back, left hand forward. Come to face the right side of the mat. We're going to move into our wide-legged forward fold again. Exhale, folding, releasing the hands down, finding what position gives you the most steadiness. Releasing the head down towards the earth. And as we inhale, bringing the hands onto the hips as we ride the breath up to standing. We'll make our way back into our high lunge. Left toes point forward, right toes come onto the ground as our heel lifts. Hands come up to frame the ears. And we'll walk that right foot forward to meet the left chair pose. So in this chair pose, we're rocking the weight back into the heels, pulling hips back, chest forward. Good, and then lengthening all the way up, hands come to heart center, moving into your tree pose on the other side. So from here, you'll root and ground into the left foot. Start to lift the right leg, open up the hip, and then find the variation that you did on the other side. And once you feel steady here, you can start to move your arms. So your right hands can come onto the inside of the ankle or the thigh, and then your left arm can reach up and over to frame the ear. So as we bring our focus into this moment, how can we root ourselves into our bodies? Notice what places of your bodies are feeling the stretch. Where do you feel sensation? And breathe into those spaces. Bringing your hands back to heart center, we'll release the leg. And then from here, we'll bring ourselves back into our hand to big toe fold. So when you're ready, inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, hinge from the hips. First 2 fingers and thumb, wrap around the big toes. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. And as we take a second round in this pose, maybe noticing some differences within the body. Maybe noticing a little more length, a little more space. Inhaling, lifting halfway, release your grip, and we'll move into Malasana, or yogi squat. So from here, your feet are going to go wider, just like in your bear pose, but your toes are going to point slightly out to the sides. As you exhale, start to bring the hips down towards the ground. Hands come to heart center. Elbows come onto the insides of the knees, gently opening them up. The element of earth helps us to not only focus on the present moment, rooting and grounding into this present, but it also talks about our rootingness in our family, within the world around us, how we can be more involved and engaged in those other areas as well. Releasing your hands down towards the ground, we'll start to pull back into our downward facing dog. This time you have the option of moving through a vinyasa, shifting forward into plank and lowering into chaturanga or all the way down onto the belly. Inhale into your cobra or your upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. And as you inhale, right leg rises up and back behind you. Bend in the knee, open up the hip. And then lengthen that right leg back behind you. Right hip bone comes down towards the ground. And then right foot comes in between the hands. Start to spiral down your back heel so that we come up into our warrior two. And just taking some time to find your alignment here. If your front knee is wobbling or moving towards your big toe, gently bring that knee out towards your pinky toe. In this moment, I am rooted, I am stable, and I am steady. And from here, flipping the right palm, left hand comes down, reverse through your warrior. Lengthening through the right side of the body. Keeping that bend in your front knee. Good. And coming back into your warrior two, we'll lengthen through that front leg and then bring the right toes towards the left side of the mat. We're going to come into a different kind of forward fold here. So hands are going to come onto your hips. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold, keeping your hands right here. And if you don't really feel stable or steady here, you can bring the hands down onto the ground. But feeling an even distribution of weight between the heels and the soles of your feet. Good. And then slowly make your way back up to standing. Right toes point forward. We're going to move into our balanced half moon. So we already did this on the ground. Now we're working our way up into this strong balancing pose. This is where you can take your block, if you'd like, and place it onto the outer edge of your right foot and start to lift the left leg up as you walk the block forward so that your hand is underneath your shoulder. Left foot comes in line with the hip. Left hip rolls open to the sky, and maybe left hand reaches up to the sky here. And if your mind is moving anywhere else, it's going to be harder to move into this pose and hold it. So bring your focus into your breath and into your body. What is happening within your body right now? And on your next exhale, we'll start to bring that left foot back down. Back into your warrior two for a breath. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Step back and move through your vinyasa. Noticing any subtle changes from one side to the other. And on your next inhale, left leg rises. Bend in the knee, open up the hip here. And then lengthen the leg, hip comes down. And the left foot comes in between the hands. Heel to arch alignment in the feet as we move back up into our warrior two. Taking your time here, making these little adjustments within your body, helping you to create that body awareness. Good. And then flipping the left palm up, right hand comes down, reverse through. And coming back into your warrior two, left leg lengthens, left toes point towards the right side of the mat. And from here, we're going to come into our yogi toe grip. So like the first two folds that we did before, but we're just going to do it wide-legged here. So hands come onto the hips to start. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge from the hips. First two fingers and thumb wrap around the big toes. Lengthen and fold. Elbows come up towards the sky as we draw the shoulders down and away from the ears. Finding lots of length and space through the back of the neck. And releasing the yogi toe grip, bringing your hands onto the ground. We'll make our way back up to standing. Left toes point forward, and then we'll move into our balancing half moon here. So again, using that block, placing it onto the pinky side edge of the foot, slight bend in the front knee to help you lift off and bring that right heel in line with the hip. And taking your time, taking this pose in breath by breath. And when you're ready, maybe bringing your right hand up. I am here in this space, feeling my body in this pose. And as you exhale, bring in the right foot back down. Come back into our warrior two. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back, and move through your flow. And once you're back in your downward facing dog, we'll come down onto our knees and start the yin portion of our practice. We'll start with a toe stretch. So you're going to sit back onto your toes being tucked, and you may want to pull your pinky toes out on the sides, helping to release that little toe. And you can bring your palms face up or face down in your lap, closing your eyes. The element of earth is related to our root chakra, located at the base of the spine. And within this chakra, we find characteristics of love and belonging, family of origin, feeling safe and secure. Those are all things that are very closely related to the earth element. Maybe asking ourselves, what is it that we can learn from this earth element? What is it that we can take away from this practice today? And you exhale, releasing your hands back down onto the ground and grabbing your block. We're going to come into half butterfly pose. So coming down onto your seat and bringing your right leg out to the side, left foot comes into your inner thigh. And you can take this block and place it on the highest height in front of you. And as we fold over the right leg, you can bring your palms face up so that you don't try and reach and grab towards your right foot as we do in our vinyasa practice. This is just going more into the folding of the practice. And so you can take that block and you can place it where your head would lay. And start to place your forehead onto it. In our vinyasa practice, we are in a very active practice. And in our yin practice, we are in a more receptive practice. So instead of reaching as far as we can go and finding that edge, we're just going to allow ourselves to melt into this posture. Giving it effort, but also giving it lots of release. Softness with every exhale. As you inhale, slowly lifting your head off of the block and making your way up as we bring both legs to center. Just feeling your body rooting in this space. Feeling your sit bones connecting to the earth. And starting to move to the other side. Left leg comes out to the side, right foot comes in. And placing that block underneath your forehead as you lengthen the arms long out to the sides of the foot. Finding your sweet spot, a place where you can hold this pose. And if this is painful for you at all to place your head onto the block, you can always stay up. And you're just using your block as a guide. Every exhale, just releasing a little more towards it. Not forcing your body into any particular shape. And as we ask ourselves, what is it that I can take from the earth element today? We go back into what the earth element represents. Is it to find more steadiness? Is it to create deeper connections within your family, within your friends, within yourself? What is it that you can learn and take from this element today? And what does that look like? Gently bringing yourself back up. And we'll start to make our way down onto our backs for a supine twist, or cat pulling its tail. So as you lay down, you can just release the block to the side or up in front of you. And bring your right knee into your chest. And as you exhale, bring the right knee to the outside of the left hip. And you can roll all the way to the outer edge of that left hip so that you are folding a little deeper here. Right hand comes out to the side. Shoulder comes down towards the ground. And you can stay right here. You can also lengthen your right leg so that it's long. And you can also bend in your left leg And if you want, grabbing onto the top of your left foot. So there's many different variations here. Listening to your body today and creating that body awareness, creating connection to your body. And moving into the shape that is good for your body today. You can keep your head straight, or you can look towards the right side. You can also close your eyes. Moving into your breath. Exhaling, releasing, bringing your body back to center. And gently bringing your knees into your chest. Maybe rocking from side to side. And lengthening the right leg long, left knee stays in. And as you exhale, starting to move over to the other side. Moving into your variation. Anchoring yourself in this moment as you feel yourself connected to the earth below you. few more breaths here. Bringing your breath all the way into your lower belly. Gently releasing, unwinding, coming onto the back. And then grabbing your block, we're going to come into a supported bridge pose. So bending in the knees, placing the soles of the feet onto the ground. And then taking your block on the lowest height and placing it under your sacrum, that bony part at the base of your spine. Palms can come up, lengthening at the sides of your body. As we move through the rest of our day, after this practice, and incorporating what we've learned on the mat, exploring how we can bring the element of earth into our lives. Whatever we do, incorporating the rootedness of the present in every aspect. Whether we are trying to connect at a deeper level with our family, our friends, ourselves, we can find a deeper meaning within those connections by just being present. By fully focusing our attention and our awareness in the moment that we are in the place that we are in. There is a saying, our energy goes where our attention flows. Wherever we bring that energy and awareness to, gives us significantly deeper connection. Knowing this, bringing your focus, your attention fully on this moment. Fully on your body and its connection to your mat. The connection of the breath and what part of the body that it moves as it comes in and out. Connection of the block underneath your back. As you inhale, pressing the soles of the feet into the ground, lifting the hips and bring the block out from underneath of it. And as you gently roll the lower back down towards the mat, just noticing that subtle difference. Lengthening the legs all the way out to the corners of the mat as you make your way into your final resting pose of Shavasana. Releasing your awareness from the outside world and bringing your focus and attention fully into your body. With any last spaces that you feel holding, breathe into them, and as you exhale, slowly let go. Taking this time to absorb all the benefits of your practice. As you inhale, starting to deepen your breath. As you awaken your senses back out to the space. Moving your fingers and your toes. Bending in your knees as you gently roll over to one side. When you're ready, bringing yourself up into your comfortable seated position. Your hands at heart center in Anjali Mudra. Thank you for sharing in this practice. As we spoke about the element of earth and how we can incorporate it off of the mat. The light within me honors and sees the light within you. Namaste.